How am I gonna start this video? I'm gonna start this video. Let's get video. Let's do some video. What's up? What's up, everybody? We are back on the Drag Week project. Y'all, I had a mini panic attack a couple days ago when I sat straight up in bed and I realized the McRib is back. And just, actually, is it back? No, guys, just in case you're wondering, the McRib is not in fact back. But Drag Week is less than 8 weeks away. And as you can tell, we don't have a complete Drag Week car. Now, last time I left off with you guys, it was sitting on wheels and tires, and I kind of showed you guys the MacFab B-locks and the brand new rubber and the brand new rolling stock, and it looks absolutely bitchin' sitting on the ground. But now, as you can tell, we're missing a big piece of that puzzle. That is gonna be a whole separate video in and of itself. I am super excited about that one, and it'll be here very soon. But besides that, it looks almost like we have a complete car. The exception is inside, which we are now doing my favorite thing, the end of the road, the wiring. Now, what am I wiring in and changing up this year? Well, we're putting a whole new engine management system in here, and if you remember the previous video I did, that is the Holley Terminator X Max system. Since we partnered up with the folks over at Holley, I got a whole laundry list of stuff to put on this car, and I'm finally getting around to installing it. If you know anything about this Terminator X system, Holley dropped a damn gauntlet on the LS world with this system. It's a budget-friendly, super cheap, packed with features, plus the Holley name associated with it, so you know it's going to be a quality system. And guys are already out there installing these things and firing them up in no time flat. I am just a little bit slower than the average bear when it comes to wiring, not when it comes to racing. But we're getting it done now. The reason this system is so affordable is that it has a very limited number of inputs and outputs. This is the input-output harness, and it actually has 4 inputs and 4 outputs. Now, that is more than adequate to run the majority of your boosted LS applications, especially when you're talking turbo. So you can run dome control plus a trans brake and fan control, and I think you have 1 additional available input or output. I can't remember. I have to look at my chart that I wrote all this stuff down. But it eats up pretty much all your inputs and outputs, just like that. No surprise there. So how can we add more to this? Well, this is how. The folks over at Holley sent me this, the Holley 7-inch touchscreen display. And when I got it, I went ahead and called the folks over at Florida 5.0 and ordered up this, which fits in this, which makes it look just like this. As you can see, that's a super tidy, super clean install. This is on the blue car, which is running on a Holley Dominator. I wanted that touchscreen display because it looks absolutely killer and it looks super bitchin', and it's a really nice quality piece. It is not the most affordable thing on the market. A lot of people that are running the Terminator X system may not want to spring for this particular piece, and I get that. That is not lost on me. But should you find yourself outgrowing the inputs and outputs available on a Terminator system, and you want to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, well, this may be more affordable than you think. If you don't want to rewire your car or make the jump to a Dominator or a Holley HP, then you can pick up one of these, because when you pick this up, you gain the ability to buy one of these. This is the input-output adapter harness that goes on the back of the 7-inch touchscreen display. This is the terminated kit. It comes with a pre-terminated harness for some pressure sensors and stuff like that. And it also comes with a whole bunch of additional wiring to add additional sensors. This little bad boy right here gives you the ability to add 10 inputs and 10 outputs to the Holley touchscreen. And the screen will data log all 10 of those inputs and outputs, plus all the signals that it sees via the CAN network coming from the ECU. So 4 inputs and 4 outputs on the ECU, 10 more of each on the screen, and the ability to data log it all in one central location for an additional $750, $800. I'm not sure what the price is on this thing right now. I think it's gone up recently due to tariffs and blah, 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 whatever, government stuff. I don't care. That may seem a little bit steep, but if you're piecing your car together like I do, a la carte, and you buy a little bit at a time, well, that may give you an opportunity to have a running car for a little bit, and then when you want to jump up into and add more stuff to your system, there you go, perfectly good option. So The stuff I'm gonna add to that is gonna be like fuel quantity. I have a GPS speed sensor adapter coming from Holley that literally plugs in with a USB and requires zero calibration. You plug in the USB and you stick it on your dash. Now you have an onboard speedometer without having to worry about transmission signal inputs and outputs and blah, blah, blah. Other things we're gonna add to it. I'm gonna put a coolant pressure sensor on the thing. I wanna know when the head gasket is gonna go bye-bye. I also wanna add the ability to monitor my crankcase pressure. Again, I have a vacuum pump on this car, so that is gonna tell me if I have any issues with ring seal on the car. All those things can only be monitored via the screen. The ECU cannot see those signals, and the ECU cannot make adjustments based on the signals going into the dash. However, it's still information out there for you to have, and it's good to know. So that's what I'm working on right now. Other things we have here, I've got my solid state relay. This says nitrous solenoid driver. This is a solid state relay perfect for trans brake bump box control. I also have the flyback voltage protection. When you let go of the button on a trans brake car, that causes some electrical voltage to back up into the system, and it can go inside and it can fry an ECU if you don't have protection on it. And that's exactly what that is. Holley sent that over. And then they were also gracious enough, as you may have seen in a previous video, to send me this guy, the MSD 4-channel solid state relay. This is going to be replacing all of that nonsense. You can see those 4 relays over there in that big old fuse box. That's all going to be cleaned up and tidied up and replaced by one tidy little package. So that's it. This is what I got to work with. I'm gonna start chipping away at this stuff, and then the next video, hopefully, is gonna be this thing done, wired, and completely installed, and hopefully fired up and running. And we can start testing, because the clock is ticking. I got work to do. I'll see you guys on the flip side. The flip side, really? Did you just say that?